In this video, we're talking about this little device right here. Why am I talking about it like it's a secret? You've seen the thumbnail and title, you know what we're talking about today. What's up guys, so today we're talking about this little docking station that I picked up for my Mac, and I'm not exactly sure on the name. The names floating around the internet are Tobenone, Tobenone. Going forward, I'm probably just going to call it Tobenone. But anyway, this is their 15-2 USB laptop docking station, and we'll get to all the ports here in a minute, but you might be asking yourself, why 15-2? It's one unit, why not 15-1? Now my guess for that is because it uses the two USB Type-C ports next to each other on the MacBook Pro to be able to run this. And then obviously the 15 comes from the 15 ports you have if you count the two host ports as one, because like I mentioned, you're running one cable from the MacBook to here. It just happens to have the two ports on it. Now the list price for this thing on Amazon is $149.99, but all the time that I spent looking at these things, I never saw the actual price on Amazon up over $129.99, and actually at the time of recording this video, you can get it on sale for $103.49. Now let's take a look at build quality. Looking at the front and the back, they're both made out of plastic, but the first thing I noticed was the single piece of metal that wraps around the sides. I think it just gives it a really nice finish. I also like that they went with just a simple logo on the side, no flashy colors. It just gives it a simple and elegant look overall. Okay, now let's take a look at what this docking station gives you. Starting at the bottom on the back, we have a Type-C power port, and I want to point out the power cable is not provided. Then we have the two host ports we talked about earlier. Right next to those, we have the RJ45 gigabit Ethernet port. Moving up, we have the two HDMI ports, two USB 3.0 ports, two USB 2.0 ports, and the SD and micro SD card readers. And before I forget, I do want to point out that the micro SD and the SD card readers can be used at the same time. Then in the front, we have two more USB 3.0 ports, a USB Type-C port, and a 3.5 headphone/mic jack. So I've been using this docking station for a little over a month now, and the first thing I want to point out is that it is quiet. There is no sound that comes from this thing. But I have had one issue with it, and I was aware this could be a problem before I bought it. While researching before I made my purchase, like any good consumer should, I came across a few Amazon reviews that said that the HDMI 2 port had quit working, and that's exactly what happened to me. Now I will say it has since been fixed, and I didn't have to send it in or get a new one from the company. I actually just emailed their support. They had a few things they wanted me to do, and it seems to have worked. I will make a separate video on how I fix this issue, just because I want to make sure that the fix works permanently, or at least for an extended period of time, before I say do this to fix your issue. So look out for that video here in the next couple weeks, and when it's done, I'll link it up in the YouTube card. While researching, I also came across an issue where having too many USB devices, such as external hard drives, flash drives, stuff like that, plugged into this dock would cause them just not to show up on your computer. So I want to test that out for you guys right now. So I have a few drives here. We're going to use these four plus my G drive, and we're going to go ahead and get these plugged in and see if this is an issue or not. Okay, so I have my four drives here. One of them is going to go in via the USB Type-C on the front of this dock. The other three are going to go in the USB-A ports, as well as I have a big G drive I'm going to plug in as well. So let's go ahead and just get it done. There's nothing to it but to do it, I guess. So no really rhyme or reason as to what's going where or when I'm plugging stuff in. Just trying to get it all plugged in. Let's do the C drive here. And we need this one up front. Also, I want to point out that the other two USB plugs back there that are used up are two USB hubs that I have plugged in. So I could, in theory, expand this test and do more drives, but these are the drives I have readily available to me right now. So, and then the other, one of them is this drive here, this hub here. The other one is underneath my desk, mounted underneath there. It runs the Stream Deck and then my keyboard and mouse. So that's what those are for. Okay, we should have everything plugged in, and as you can see, Stuff's starting to come up. We have the big G drive here, it looks like. We have this Lacy drive. Both Lacy drives actually are up. So we're waiting on the Western Digital, the My Passport, and the other smaller G drive, it seems like. So we're getting there. I guess we'll give it a minute here. Oh, there's the Passport. So we're waiting on one more. We'll give it a minute here and see if it comes up, and if it doesn't, then I guess well, there it is. Look at that, right there. All of them seem to have come up, so this doesn't seem to be an issue. Like I said, I do have a USB hub. I could plug in more and just see how long it takes before this decides not to work, but I feel like there's quite a few drives plugged into this thing. Right now we have 4 external drives and then plus the one big terabyte G drive, 1 or 2 terabyte G drives. So yeah, I would say, I mean, unless you're using 10 external hard drives, you know, I guess I shouldn't say 10. I should say, as long as you're not using more than 5, it seems like it works. I don't know after that if it'll work. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I've plugged into my hubs, if those ones would come up or not. I think we're all right. I don't think this seems to be an issue. So I think this docking station from Tubi #1 works really well. Yes, it does have its issues, but for me anyway, for the time being, they seem to be able to be fixed. Also, they offer a 2-year warranty, and their customer service is actually pretty dang good. They're on point. I mean, other than when I, got done figuring out what the problem was, and I asked them, hey, how do you guys say your company name? And no one answered me after that, but they fixed my problem, so I can't complain. Alright guys, just so you know, I'm gearing up for my office tour video here coming up, so keep an eye out for that. And as always, hit that thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified when I post new content. If you like this video and want to see more videos from me, YouTube thinks you'll like that one right there, so go check it out. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next video.